AITA for telling my future in-laws that they need to change our rehearsal dinner location. I, 25F, and my fiancé, 26M, have been together for 8 years. My fiancé finally asked me the question in January of last year, and we are getting married this September. We have both been very hands-on during the whole wedding planning process. His parents graciously offered to pay for our rehearsal dinner. With this knowledge, we asked multiple times what our budget was and sent a list of places we would like to have it at with prices attached. We heard nothing from them after multiple lists sent and questions asked. About 2 weeks ago, my fiancé's dad finally called us to talk rehearsal dinner places. Turns out he had already booked something that was nothing like anything we had on our list. The place is a bar with multiple 1-star reviews for bad food. My fiancé and I have been to this restaurant multiple times with bad experiences. We asked why we were not involved and told them to cancel it. There was no cancellation fee and they would receive their deposit back in full. They said they would think about it and asked for more options. I fell in love with an Italian place halfway between our venue and the hotel people are staying at. They asked for pictures and a menu with no response. I even got to the point of the restaurant writing up a contract for us. Then last night they finally responded with a no, we are sticking to the original place and we don't want to start a war. I am beyond frustrated and at this point might book the place we want anyway. AITA. Next story. AITA for asking my husband to move his home office to the basement so I can have some sort of privacy while I recover from back surgery. I'm having major surgery on my back. I had a discectomy 2 years ago and it didn't help the pain at all. This time they are going in to take some damaged disc out and putting in some hardware to hold my spine together. They plan to cut me open from the front and the back, and my recovery is expected to take a while. An old friend loaned me a chair to help me sit until I can use the stairs. Her husband has cancer, and this is the chair she used to help from her deliveries, and while she gets her chemo. My mom is taking 6 weeks off work to come take care of me. I will need help just to get in and out of bed and to use the bathroom for the first little while. We live in a 2-story house with a finished basement. My husband works full-time from home, and he wants to stay on the main floor instead of the basement where he has been working on and off for a year. He wants to be available to me in case I want to spend time with him, but that also means he will hear me struggling with my mom to get to the bathroom or in and out of bed. He will hear and see every grunting, whining, swearing, or crying I do if things hurt. I'm not a very loud crier, but I do whimper when it hurts. He says he wants to help, but I know he is very squeamish, and I don't want to see his face while I am trying to not crap or piss myself because I can't control my bowels due to nerve damage right now. I do not want to give him an eyeful of my debilitating constipation that will almost surely happen because of the amount of opioids they are giving me. Our house isn't very large, and I don't want to have an audience whether or not he helps. I would prefer he set up his office in the basement, so I don't have to learn. I married Mike Pence while I'm trying to recover. He wants to stay on the main floor. He says it's because he wants to be close to me, but I am guessing his PlayStation is also involved. I think that I'm having surgery, and I'm losing out of work, and getting my cut open should be more important to him, and he should give me the upstairs so I can at least enjoy my one comfy chair and bed without an audience. Am I the asshole for tell him to go to the basement for the 6 weeks my mother will be there taking care of me? Next story. AITA for telling my dad why I don't talk to him so he wouldn't be shocked. I didn't say yes when he asked for a father-daughter dance. AITA for telling my dad why I don't talk to him so he wouldn't be shocked. I didn't say yes when he asked for a father-daughter dance. 23F. Don't really talk to my dad these days. I mean, I speak at him when I need to, because he won't stop trying to stay involved, and as long as he hasn't given up completely, I'm stuck living with the crap. Neither of my parents are awful at the bottom of it all. What they are is awful together. They rarely agree on anything, and can spend decades arguing the same cycles with each other. When I, and in case anyone wonders, my siblings too, needed them to be able to get along for us, they couldn't. And that happened whether they were married or not, whether they lived close by to each other or states apart. They found a way to bicker and fight and make every event about their hatred of each other. They turn a simple interaction between them into a giant fight that makes the rest of the day event uncomfortable. Or they make it an argument about who gets to have what time before they say no to the plans. When there's no contact, they bicker through the group thread and argue with siblings who don't want to pick sides. Or they're angry because they see less photos of the grandkids than they do with certain family members. Or they wear the same shade of purple, but the other said it made them look bad 5 years ago. It never stops, and all this time, we're living in the middle and hoping it won't affect us. But it was exhausting, and they made it so fucking impossible to enjoy anything with them. My high school graduation is an example where in front of my whole class, they couldn't even come forward together to take a photo with me, and made the teachers and parents and my classmates watch them argue with each other about my dad being 5 minutes late, then wrap it up into everything under the sun. Let's not even touch on what birthdays, holidays, or an attempt at time spent on us was like. I waited until I turned 18, and then I stopped going near them and started attending big events on my own. I don't want them at my wedding if I get married. I will not attend any future big family holidays, as the two nearest to Thanksgiving were the ones who drove me out of them. The only reason they ever speak to me now is because of their own hatred of each other and inability to leave even their adult kids alone in peace. I'm tired of it, and I'm tired of the pity. I'll be so happy when they are both buried, and I can mourn the parents who could have and should have been, keep my good memories, and have some peace from them. My dad asked me why I seem cold toward him, and I told him getting him to leave me alone wasn't enough to make me pity him anymore, so I decided to be honest and tell him why. My dad had this shocked and hurt face and told me it wasn't fair to blame him for not being close to his kids when he did everything possible. I told him he only ever had a spine when it came to fighting with Mom, and he couldn't ever focus on what was best for us. AITA? Next story. AITA for refusing to blow my money on siblings' birthday party. Tell them to call my mom if they're broke and embarrass them in front of everyone. Well, I, 27M, was just Whitlaman fishing for a few squids when I received a bunch of calls from my mom, 48F, and my siblings whittling about their wanting to have their twins' B-day party at their pool. But for some reason, when they called to have their pool clean, they were told they no pool. After taking my metal conductor and searching for a pool for over 11 hours, I came to the conclusion that my mom's pool was gone. Mom told me that she rented from a two-gout company that assembles the pool and then takes it back after usage. So she had to deal with renting another pool, but she had the incredible idea of renting in the most expensive place, since she believed that the last one I took was a joke of a pool.